Vin Diesel's complex background and down family records have encouraged his technique to lifestyles, made him to include each person round him with so much love. However, tragedy engulfed him when his dear buddy and co-superstar from Fast and Furious Paul Walker exceeded away. Despite Walker's passing, he's still one of the most cherished actors. Even now, Diesel praises him and appreciates the time that they had collectively wanting to say Hyman. Every occasion the opportunity arises, so it changed into secure to mention that they'd a few secrets among themselves too, ones that they by no means told the world within the face of Diesel's grief. He became a supply of consolation and help for Paul's daughter. Meadow. So who is Meadow Walker and why did Paul Walker leave her in Vin Diesel's care? Be a part of us as we delve into the information of this latest revelation. As Vin Diesel, now at 56, ultimately admits what all of us suspected: Paul Walker, the star of the Fast and the Furious movies, passed away in 2013, shocking the whole international. However, his passing considerably affected one person, Vin Diesel, his longtime friend and co-big name, who became like a brother to the overdue actor, even in spite of everything. Those years Vin has never didn't honor. And take into account his actual buddy who holds a unique area in his coronary heart. Pablo, I desire you may see the sector proper now, and the profound impact your full lifestyle has had on it on us. On me, Diesel wrote on Facebook some days later, invoking his affectionate nickname for Hisco megastar, the Spanish language equal of Paul. I will usually love you, Brian, as the brother you were on, and stale display. Vin Diesel revealed in an interview that even as some actors won't like to be referred to as with the aid of the roles they play, Paul Walker in reality cherished it. He changed into extraordinarily keen on human beings, calling him Brian, locating it to be the largest praise. Vin Diesel recalled and day Outher had with Paul in an interview. One among the men called him Brian, and while well left and we have been within the car, he said, "That is my favorite aspect. It is my preferred aspect when people call me Brian, and it usually caught with me because he became so adamant." Approximately it. To him it turned into a lovely praise I still reflect on, consideration on it to nowadays, as it just says, so a good deal that there was a lot satisfaction in this iconic man or woman. He created it become his introduction, his superhero, and that moment represented a less difficult lifestyles, I guess. Paul Walker and Vin Diesel first appeared together on screen in The Fast and the Furious, where Walker portrayed Brian O'Connor and Diesel depicted gang leader Dominic Toretto, along with the emotional bond the movie characters shape. The two actors also started cultivating a candy friendship off-screen that transcended time and area, they solid aerial friendship on the begin of the franchise that continued for the duration of the manufacturing of the movies. From 2001 to 2013 and lasted for nearly 15 years. In fact, Diesel is his overdue pal's daughter, Meadow Walker's godfather, proving their super connection is going beyond the simple co-big name. Courting when we first commenced doing this concept, we were doing a traditional automobile film, and we do one, and that might be a Diesel recalled, rather he confessed how uncertain of whether theme third became to make as a substitute. 7, 8, 9, and 10 discussing this. Even further, Diesel meditated on a promise they'd made to one another, saying we'd take this franchise and quit it at Fast 10 on November 30th, 2013. Walker reached out on Twitter to let his followers recognize that the 6th installment of the loved film collection could soon be to be had. But some hours later, Walker tragically exceeded away in a vehicle twist of fate. Walker became a completely well-known philanthropist, and that day he spent his time at a charitable occasion just like the person he had performed. Walker shared the identical ardor for immediate vehicles. In fact, that very day, Walker and his pal Roger Roos held the charity event on the high overall performance automobile Keep they owned. When they left the gathering, Walker was sitting within the passenger seat even as Russ became using, and all of a sudden, just a few hundred yards away, the motive force misplaced manipulate of the car. Those gift at the event hurried to assist, however they were powerless. Walker's pals watched helplessly because the tragedy fast unfold through the media. Within hours, Walker's passing bowled over fanatics everywhere in the global. Vin Diesel and Paul Walker had been near friends, and whilst the actor handed away, it devastated Diesel. Dropping his high-quality buddy forever tore him apart. But the actor has continually tried to keep his memory alive by speak me about Walker and their special dating in reality. At some stage in some interviews, he could regularly cry in front of the Digicam Diesel, flew out to California as quickly Ash heard the information. Worried specifically. For his goddaughter, Meadow Walker, idea, they needed my electricity, however, found out when I were given there and broke down earlier than his family that it changed into I who needed theirs. Diesel recalled the heartbreaking second he reunited with Walker's. Mother Cheryl, his mother, hugged me and stated, "I am so sorry," I said. "Sorry, you are the mom who lost a son," she stated. Sure, however, you lost your different half of Vin Diesel, located it hard to simply accept that his cherished confidant had all of sudden vanished. Ceasing to depend upon and watch out for one another, Walker changed into a big source of help for him, especially when he helped Diesel restore his courting together with his mother, because speedy and livid, Seven become, nonetheless, in the making Diesel. Had no longer even had time to mourn the lack of his friend after Walker passed away, Diesel was compelled to act as though his buddy changed into status. Next to him, even as the film became being filmed, he declared, "I've been performing all my existence." And they do not educate you in appearing a way to mourn a person and concurrently fake they are in a scene with you. At the Jonathan Ross display in October 2015, Diesel gave a shout-out to Universal, calling the studio outstanding and first-rate for rolling with the production's choice to change, the finishing to provide. Walker, a right send-off, Brian O'Connor cop turned FBI agent, became Dom's associate in crime, and brother in regulation, averting into the sundown, with Jordana Brewer's Mia and their son Jack Walker's further solar-kissed brothers Cody and Caleb stood in as body doubles for Walker. Final scenes and their presence on set was a comfort for Diesel. What it did greater than whatever become that the own family demonstrated what we had. Been doing Diesel instructed extra in 2015, and just seeing them there wanting to defend the legacy of someone they care a lot approximately become an empowering feeling, and they had been simply so generous and unrelenting and looking to assist and do something to help us finish this legacy and hold this venture that we had that become the maximum vital component element ever for us. Now and again, I'll publish a picture on Facebook or communicate about Pablo, and those will say, simply, "Move on." Diesel instructed Jonathan Ross later that year. However, the relationships in that franchise are so robust and the brotherhood so real that it transcends the enjoy of making the film. You spend 15 years going from being a no person to anyone with a brother, and then one day, he's long gone. And it is a completely heavy, enjoy the relationship among Walker and Diesel is unbreakable. And notwithstanding Walker's passing, Diesel has persevered to be near his family, giving them a feel of their late fathers. Presence. Additionally, Diesel gave his 2D daughter the call Pauline as a tribute to his deceased buddy. Each the Diesel and Walker families often get collectively and a special bond between their daughters, shows how friendship can cut throughout all obstacles. Primarily, Diesel remained close to Meow, his goddaughter, whom he said takes desirable care of him. She's the primary man or woman on Father's Day to desire me. Happy Father's Day, Diesel said. To see her with my children is one of the maximum stunning things. There are moments when I see her playing with Pauline and it hits me so deep, 'cause I can handiest believe what my brother sees, whilst he sees that considered one of the most significant tributes Diesel paid to his late buddy was strolling his daughter Meadow down the aisle. This unmarried act moved all of us as it confirmed the actor's love for Walker and fulfilled a obligation that the overdue father could have had to satisfy if he were nonetheless alive. Lifestyles' advantages usually follow tragedies. In Lifestyles, Diesel wrote on his Instagram, "Look at this photograph, Pablo. It's going to make you smile, the equal angel that you helped me put together for in the maximum beautiful manner. Together with your brotherly recommendation is the same angel." The treasured Meadow requested to be her maid of honor. Diesel has said he prefers to hold his privateness regarding his private existence, declaring, "I'm no longer going to put it out there on a magazine cowl. Like some other actors, I come from the Harrison Ford, Marlon Brando, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino code of silence. Diesel is stated for his different deep voice. He stated his voice broke around age 15, giving him a mature-sounding voice at the phone, which he frequently makes use of for his performances. Diesel is a longtime Dungeons & Dragons fan and wrote the Ahead for 30 Years of Adventure, a celebration of Dungeons & Dragons. In 2004, he has also expressed his love for the Dominican Republic and how he pertains to its multicultural aspects he is acquainted with. its former president, Leonel Fernandez, and appeared in one in every of Fernandez's in-advance campaign advertisements. He later secured film production in the country for Los Banderos and Fast and Furious, both in 2009. Someday, around 2001, Diesel died his. Fast and Furious co-megastar Michelle Rodriguez do. The fact that 2007 he has been in a dating with Mexican model Paloma Jimenez. The couple have 3 daughters born in April 2008 and March 2015, and a son born in 2010 and September 2020. Diesel announced his venture into track with the release of the tune Feel Like I Do produced by using Cow. He debuted the music on The Kelly Clarkson Show on September 24th, declaring, "I am blessed that on a year that I could usually be on a film set, and as that's no longer viable, I've had every other creative outlet. Any other way to reveal you or percentage with you, my heart Vin Diesel's internet really worth, is envisioned to be around $225 million. He has gathered his wealth frequently through his successful profession inside the film enterprise, specifically via his roles within the Fast and Furious franchise, which has been one among the very best grossing film collection globally. Further to performing, Diesel has also been worried in producing, which has in addition contributed to his profits. Different sources of Diesel's earnings encompass his roles in other famous movies, voice performing drastically as Groot in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and his involvement in numerous enterprise ventures. Additionally, he has leveraged his fame into lucrative endorsement offers and partnerships. It would seem natural for Meadow Walker to pursue a career in acting following in her past due father's footsteps. However, instead she has selected to come to be a model. However, there may be a shared trait among her and her father. Both are philanthropist. She has dedicated herself to persevering with her father's legacy via the Paul Walker Foundation. Meadow Walker had a deep connection with her father, the overdue actor Paul Walker, born in Los Angeles on November 4, 1998. To the famed actor from the Fast and Furious franchise, and his then lady friend Rebecca Somedo spent her youth in Hawaii, visiting her father sporadically. She ultimately returned to Los Angeles, wherein her parents shared custody for a length till she moved in with her father. Sadly, much less than a year after moving in, he handed away in a vehicle twist of fate on November 30th, 2013. My heart changed into determined for such a lot of years with the scenario with my daughter. She's living in Hawaii. And she's there and I'm running here. My daughter lives with me full time now, and she's the nice accomplice I've ever had. Paul advised Entertainment Weekly simply months earlier than his dying, due to the fact his loss of life. Meadow has flourished in her modeling profession and keeps to pay tribute to her father's reminiscence through her charitable efforts. She has additionally maintained a near relationship along with his Fast and Furious co-stars and has even ended up a part of the franchise. Meadow kicked off her modeling journey in 2017 with DNA Fashions as her organization, as specified in her Instagram bio. She has walked the runway for top designers inclusive of Prenza Schooler and Alexander McQueen, and additionally serves as the face of Joni Beauty. In March 2023, Meadow celebrated a massive milestone in her career with Giovanni sharing a photograph of herself in an ad above a cosmetics counter at a branch, save going through Theach of dropping her father in September 2015. Meadow took legal action against the creators of the Porsche Carrera GT, which her father's buddy Roger Roos became using when the accident passed, often suing in his demise. The lawsuit alleged that the automobile lacked crucial protection functions that would have both avoided the coincidence, or on the very least allowed Paul Walker to continue to exist. In 2017, Meadow reached a settlement with Porsche. She additionally received a $10.1 million agreement from Roger Roos's property, which became paid into her, believed to honor her father's 42nd birthday. In September 2015, Meadow announced the established order of the Paul Walker Foundation. The employer is dedicated to spontaneous acts of goodwill that empower younger people and assist the surroundings they live in. The inspiration also furthers his legacy of ocean conservation, reflecting on my father. I located myself reflecting on his passions. Meadow shared on Instagram with a nostalgic photograph of her and Paulie. Wanted to begin this foundation because I want to proportion that piece of him with the world. I need to proportion that a part of him with others via the foundation. Meadow has taken part in numerous charitable sports in June 2022 shedded the PWF Do Good Scholarship aimed at assisting a meriting student who's dedicated to addressing the urgent needs of their community or environment. Following a brief, however passionate courting, Meadow said, "I doubted her Angel Lewis." Thornton Allen, in October 2021, at some point of a personal ceremony at the seaside in the Dominican Republic. The bride wore a custom Giovanni haute couture gown for her ceremony with her father's near pal and Fast and Furious co-famous person, Vin Diesel. Strolling her down the aisle, additionally, Diesel's daughter, Hania Riley Sinclair, served as Meadow's maid of honor. Every 12 months, Meadow will pay a heartfelt tribute to her past-due father on Instagram, celebrating his delivery birthday and commemorating the day he handed away. In 2021, she shared a nostalgic image from her youth showing her as an infant, keeping directly to an actor who tenderly kissed her cheek. "I love and miss you endlessly these days and each day. I've fun your life, your love, and also you. My high-quality buddy," she wrote in the caption. In September 2023, Meadow marked what could were her father's 50th birthday with an emotional tribute. On Instagram, she uploaded a heartwarming Vint photo of herself and Walker. "Glad birthday, Tommy, father or mother angel. Thank you for your love, guidance, friendship, sunshine, and for elevating me to look all the beauty within the global," she wrote. In the caption, "I love you and pass over you every day on the 10th wide hour due to the fact her father's passing." In 2023, Meadow revealed a formerly unseen video of Walker, 10 years without you, I love you for all time. She captioned the touching video on Instagram, which featured Meadow surprise sudden her dad on his birthday. Meadow made him look inside the closing installment of her father's cherished Fast and Furious. Franchise Fast X premiered on May 19th, 2023, and simply before that, she hinted at her position. In the film on Instagram, within the caption, she paid a tribute to the popular film collection, and Walker the First, Speedy changed into Launched when I turned into 1-year-old. I grew up on set looking my father, Vin, Jordana, Michelle, Chris, and extra on the monitors. Meadow wrote, "Thanks to my dad, I turned into born into a quick-paced family. I cannot consider now I get to be up there too, with the ones who have been round to see me develop up." Meadow additionally expressed her gratitude to Rapid X's director Lou Larrier for his generosity, information, and backing during her live on the set, as properly as to movie manufacturer Brandon Burrell. "I am so blessed for you to honor my father's legacy and percentage this with him forever," she concluded after the movie's debut. People interviewed the forged of Fast and Furious, such as Diesel Brewster and Michelle Rodriguez, about their enjoy working with Meadow. "It did something to my soul to peer her, need to honor her father, and to make contributions in her personal manner to his life's paintings," Diesel said. "It's supposed the whole lot Rodriguez delivered. It's the whole thing to us because Paul's memory is in no way going to die in the franchise. So long as we are doing it, we must maintain that preserving his electricity." A live stay. As for Brewster, she stated it changed into honestly really inspiring to watch Meadow paintings her butt off in the course of her time with the Quick X cast.